Hello everyone, this is me Payal Dutta, and today we are going to study the poem A Work of Artifice by Marge Piercy. So without much delay, let us quickly start with the poem. The bonsai tree in the attractive pot could have grown 80 feet tall on the side of a mountain till split by lightning. So, from the very opening lines of the poem, we come to know that the poem is about a bonsai tree. Now, we know that a bonsai, it is kept inside our house and it is kept for decoration purpose. So, here the speaker says that the bonsai is placed in the attractive pot, that it is placed in an ornamental pot to give a decorative appeal to the house. So the bonsai is placed in the attractive pot. And what about this bonsai? This bonsai could have grown 80 feet tall on the side of a mountain. So if this bonsai was allowed to grow on the mountains, naturally it could have grown 80 feet tall till split by lightning. So you see, the bonsai is so strong. If it were allowed to grow naturally on the mountains, it could face dangers and natural calamities like lightning. But what has happened to this poor bonsai? But a gardener carefully pruned it. So a gardener, he has pruned the bonsai. What do you mean by pruned? By pruned, we mean to trim or to cut. So this gardener, he has carefully chopped the bonsai tree, and so it cannot grow 80 feet tall anymore. What has happened to it? It is 9 inches tall. So you see, the gardener, he has controlled, he has restricted, he has limited the growth of this bonsai tree. Now one thing you must remember, that the word bonsai, it has come from the Japanese term. From the Japanese term bonsai, we have the name of the plant. Now what does bonsai mean in Japanese? In Japanese, bonsai means a plant that is kept inside a container. So this bonsai that could have grown 80 feet tall if allowed to grow on the mountains naturally, that has been trimmed, that has been pruned by the gardener, and now it is only 9 inches high. So the gardener here, he is controlling the growth of the bonsai. Every day as he whittles back its branches, the gardener croons. So you see, this has become a regular habit for the gardener. Every day, it's like a hobby for him. Every day he is trimming the bonsai. It is a regular duty for him. He whittles back its branches. By whittles, what do you understand? By whittles, you mean to trim, to prune. So instead of using the word prune again, Marge Piercy, she uses the word whittles. So what does the gardener do? He is pruning back the branches. He is chopping the branches of the bonsai. He is limiting the growth of the bonsai. And when he is limiting the growth of the bonsai, when he is trimming it, what is the gardener doing? He croons. The gardener croons. Now what do you mean by croons? When you sing in a soft voice, it is called croons. So you see, whenever we are satisfied with something, whenever we are deriving pleasure from something, we usually sing to ourselves. So here the gardener, as he is trimming the tree, as he is chopping the tree, as he is controlling the bonsai, the growth of the bonsai, he is singing to himself. So he is getting a sense of satisfaction by dominating the tree. He is getting a sense of pleasure by controlling the growth of the bonsai. And he is telling the tree, mark what he says, it is your nature to be small and cozy. So the gardener is saying that bonsai, it is your nature, your characteristic to be small and cozy. And so you see, he is trying to tell the bonsai that I am the one who is helping you to be small, who is helping you to be cozy. So I am actually superior to you. So how am I helping you to be small? I am trimming you. I am trimming you, and that is why you are small. And with all the care that I am giving you, you are cozy. I am placing you inside an attractive pot to keep you cozy. So I am superior to you. I am actually dominating you. So it is your nature to be small and cozy, domestic and weak. Domestic, that is, you should be homely. You should stay in the interiors of the house. And all these things, who is providing to you? I am providing you with a cozy atmosphere, a homely atmosphere, a domestic atmosphere. And then there's an ionic remark, you see. How lucky, little tree, to have a pot to grow in. So a bonsai, it is supposed to be a tree that brings luck to one's house. So here, the gardener is telling the tree that you are lucky for me too. The way I am lucky for you, you are lucky for me too. And the irony is that he is calling the tree lucky, but the tree wasn't lucky. Its branches were being chopped by the gardener. A tree that could have grown 80 feet tall, a tree which could have grown on the mountain side and could be split only by lightning, has now become domestic and weak because the gardener has controlled it. He has pruned it. He has controlled the growth of the tree. He has made it domestic. He has made it weak. So it is not lucky anymore. It is a little tree, a little weak domestic tree. So the gardener says that even then, so what? You are domestic and weak. You are lucky. Why are you lucky? Because you have a pot to grow in. So you don't have to face the adversities of nature. You don't have to face the lightning. You have to just live inside a house, inside the attractive pot. And so see, little tree, I am the one who has given you this luck. So you are lucky to have a pot to grow in. Then he says, with living creatures, one must begin very early to dwarf their growth. So, with living creatures, one must begin the conditioning very early, because if only you condition someone in their early age, you can dominate them. They become dependent on you. So this bonsai, because it was conditioned from the very early age, it became dependent on the gardener. So that is why the gardener is saying that in order to control you, I have to begin conditioning you from a very early age, to dwarf their growth, that is to shorten, to reduce the growth of yours. Then he says, the bound feet, the crippled brain, the hair in colors. So, for the first time in the poem, we realize that the poem is not about a bonsai tree, but it is much more. So, what is it about? The bonsai here is a metaphor. A metaphor for what? A metaphor for oppressed women, the suppressed women of the patriarchal society. So these women, they were being domesticated. They are made small, cozy, weak by the men of the society. So the gardener is a metaphor for the patriarchal society, the norms of the society, the expectations of the society. So what does he say? The bound feet. Now in China, there is a Chinese culture where the feet of women are tied to reduce their growth, to control their growth. So that they bring means it was believed that if the feet is short, if it is small, they bring good luck. So here the gardener is saying that you tree, women should have small feet, so their feet should be bound. They must be homely, they must be domestic. The crippled brain, that is, women should not have the freedom of thoughts. Their thoughts, their imagination must be crippled. It must be limited. It must be restricted. So the freedom to think, the ignited minds are being hampered. There's a hindrance in the process of thinking of women. And who is causing this hindrance? The patriarchal society. The hair in colors. So women are expected to look beautiful. They must look attractive. They must look desirable and acceptable to the men of the society. So in order to look acceptable, desirable to the men, what do they have to do? They have to put on colors. So you see, the women, they were expected to do the way the patriarchal society wanted them to perform. So they were controlled by the patriarchal society, the norms of the society. So here the poet says that the gardener expects women to have three characteristics: the bound feet, the crippled brain, the hair in colors. The hands you love to touch. Again, there is an irony over here, because the gardener doesn't ask the bonsai whether you love the touch or not. He himself assumes that this kind of touch is what the bonsai wants. So again, there is a domination. There is a dominating feeling. You see, there is in the line, with living creatures, one must begin very early. That word must, that must is giving a force. It's like forcibly you must do something. So the expectations of the society from the women is like a must. It's like it has been forcibly given to them. So this poem by Marge Piercy can be read as a poem with a feminist approach. Okay, so this is a feminist poem. Marge Piercy, she herself was a feminist, and this poem is about the oppression of women in the patriarchal society. All the sufferings of women are being shown here. I hope that I could explain the poem properly to you. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions regarding this poem, feel free to write that in the comment section below. I will definitely reply. Okay? Thank you.